Hi everyone, how are you? I put this cute little fox up from Bath and Body Works. I hope that you can see him. He's so cute. Oh, now look at this. Mr. Thumb has a turkey on it. There you go. Yeah. I've got my Thanksgiving nails on. Look at that. Got turkeys right there. There you are. My Thanksgiving nails. How about that? How about that? All glittery. Right? Let me see here. So I've got this kind of Thanksgiving-y kind of decor going on here with this cute little fox. Isn't he cute? Right? So I'm going to turn the light off now. Oh, there you go. It's even cute in the dark. So, how have you all been? I am just having a real hard time. I had the vid, right? We said that. And so that's what canceled my stupid surgery. And not that it's a stupid surgery, it's just that I wanted to have my surgery because I wanted to stop being in so much freaking pain. But, so I was sick for so long. I got sick that first week of September. And so now the leading theory is by my doctor thinks that I probably had that influenza A or the RSV that's going around so bad. Had that, and then I got it lessened my immunities because, so I ended up getting the vid again, and I just don't have the strongest immune system ever on the planet, so seems like it just really just did me in. So got sick September 1st or 2nd, right in there, and I am still not all the way well. I'm just still having a lot of problems eating solid food. It's just not happening. So I just have been trying to sleep a lot, be kind to my body, trying to get myself in a good position for surgery, but with like no medications or anything that would help, I'm sleeping 15 hours a freaking day and waking up tired. Yes, I'm anemic. Of course we got that tested. Everything else looks really good. So, I'm putting up a good fight. I'm keeping my fluids up and all of that. It's just solid food is just still not working. So I think that, the virus just really takes a lot out of you. And that's why, they didn't want us getting it because it lasts and lasts. So be careful, you guys. Just wash your hands and I don't know. Just be careful. Be careful because you don't want it. I am so thankful that I don't have to work outside of the house because I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I was a single parent, I don't know how I would be able to be, sick and working and having to go to work to support myself and my child. I'm very fortunate in that, I'm not in that position because I think that, in the beginning when things were closed down, that's why, because they knew that it would, hang on and on, but it was too early, in the, I guess you can't say it's too, I don't know what, I'm just saying, don't get this shit, okay? Just be careful. And the first sign of it, just do everything that you can and that you believe in to protect yourself and build up your vitamin C, and make sure you take zinc with your vitamin C, otherwise it doesn't absorb. So anyway, with that being said, I was doing good enough today that I sat up. I made some playlists on the YouTube so that it's a little bit more organized. I don't know if you guys heard me do this series of three. I thought it was four. I had it labeled wrong in my titles. I'm sorry. But I did three, I think 3 2-hour sessions of reading these leaked letters that Casey Anthony sent to her cellmate, Robin Adams. Yeah, that's not supposed to be done, but the guard kind of looked the other way and kind of put this one really nice chick kind of in a position to be Casey's buddy, her mentor, kind of trying to get her to spill the truth, I think. Or and this is just me pontificating, and because why would a guard allow these letters to be passed? And if you listen to the letters, the way that they went back and forth, you can really tell that Robin was not down for the whole thing. She allowed herself to be in the position to accept these letters, but she in no way, shape, or form wanted to be Casey's true friend. She played the role, and she got it, and she did it because she hoped that she could be the one that Casey confesses to, and then she could go and be a rat and go and tell the judge and get her sentence commuted or reduced. Robin Adams was in prison along with her husband, who was a former police officer, because they had allegedly started a marijuana grow operation. So here's this nice woman who is not criminogenic in any way, and she's having to spend 10 years of not seeing her children grow, and her husband is in the same position. And now here we are with our new laws where they're basically wiping everybody's records clear and letting people out of prison who are in those charges. So I just think it's really sad that so many people were put away for marijuana when if they were doing criminal things with the marijuana, then okay. But in that situation where it was Robin Adams, just a nice lady, and being put away for 10 years. Why? What was that going to do? I do believe she got out. I don't know how much time she did serve, but so I put it on the playlists. I put the Casey Anthony leaked cellmate letters to Robin Adams in the playlists. They're also in the videos, and you might have heard them, but if you hadn't heard them, please listen to them, and please like and share them, because that no good, low life Casey Marie Anthony is now needing a little cash, so she's doing the interviews. And of course, it's gonna come out, they don't pay people for interviews. Yeah, but they pay you for the pictures you bring. It's all in there, and so I think she needed a little paycheck. And is she gonna tell the truth? No, the woman doesn't know how to tell the truth. It's not in her DNA. I mean, quite literally, we found out that the whole family lies. So no, she's not going to be telling the truth. She's not going to give some big tell-all. She's going to give an interview, and she's going to give the bare minimum right now, I think. I think she's going to give some people something to run with, but she's going to hold back on the ultimate truth until she gets that big offer that she wants. You'll have to read these letters because you'll have to listen to me read the letters, because I did them in my best Casey Anthony voice, and the syntax and speed. I did them all like, okay, you guys do not understand, like, okay, this is what I'm talking about, and okay, and oh my gosh, what am I going to get in my next commissary order? I had to channel the Casey Anthony vibe, and I think I got it. I think I got it down. So she was more focused on what her next commissary order was going to be than she was that her daughter's remains had been found. That she was, in fact, on trial looking at life in prison for the murder of her own daughter. And it's bizarre to hear where her mind was, to really see where that headspace was, because we really never had any insight as to what was going on. We saw her, being a little pissy turd to her parents in the first few days, and the videotaped jail calls, and when she got out on bail with Leonard Padilla. I love Leonard Padilla. He's the one with the black cowboy hat. He's a dark cowboy. He's just hilarious. Bail bondsman Leonard Padilla. And I mean, she was never panicked. And it speaks to what a true sociopath she truly is. When I say things like that, I know that people will be in the comments, oh no, she's a narcissist. Oh no, she's this. When I say that somebody is this based on the way that they're acting, I am not a therapist. I'm not giving a diagnosis, and I am not giving a whole psychiatric workup, giving their whole global affective functioning scale and IQ and everything. I'm saying they're this, which is one of many diagnoses she probably has. I mean, I assume she's borderline. I think that you can really tell that in the letters that she has borderline personality disorder, and borderlines really tend to love bomb. And that is just, they glob onto one person and, oh my God, you're my best friend forever. Oh my God, let's go be best friends, blah, 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 blah. And she did that with Robin. In fact, teaser here, Casey wanted to go and live that RV lifestyle and start her own ministry with Robin in the RV on the road. So it's got to be Casey Anthony Ministries coming to you in a town near you. So check them out. Like I say, I made a playlist. Look where the playlists are. You can kind of tab over when you go to a person's channel, and it'll say playlists. I do try to post things on my community page as well, kind of what's on my mind, and just a way to keep connected with you guys. And I was getting caught up on my emails, and then I got a little behind again. So I apologize to anybody who's still stuck in the queue. Like I say, this week I pretty much slept through. My cats are happy about that, because especially Boo Boo, he needs to go to sleep with me all the time. He gets mad, like you guys will see. He'll come up here in a little bit and he'll jump up on here and tell me it's time to go to bed, because he likes to lay on me. When he was a kitten, we got him when he was, I think, 6 to 8 weeks, like right in that little thing. He was a rescue cat out of Texas from all the floodings after a hurricane. And they brought a lot of those up north, a lot of animals up north to the shelters up here. And so he decided that, because he was a baby, I was his mother, and it would be best if he slept on top of my face. And so he would just back up his little ass and plop down, and I'd be lucky if I'd had one eye and half of my mouth clear, and he was asleep there, and that was it. And then he'd nestle in my neck. And now that he's about half as tall as me, when he stretches out, I lay on my side, and he'll walk up, and he'll get all comfortable. He'll walk all up and down me, show me his chocolate starfish, his butthole, and then lower it down, and then bap me with his tail a few times, and then he'll wrap his tail around my arm, and then grab onto like my knees, and he will sleep there on me, just like that. It's so funny. My kids will come in and check on me and stuff when I'm sleeping, and they'll just laugh. And when he slept on me all week, they were just talking about how funny it was. They just walk by, and there's Boo just looking up at him like, I got Mom. Don't worry, I got her. And then he'll take me around where I need to go. He runs in front of me. He has to pretend that he has his spraying thing because he's fixed, but he doesn't know that. So he thinks he has to go put his scent on all of the doors and everything, and then look both ways and make sure that I'm safe. And then he'll let me in a room, and then he'll stay at the edge of the door and look both ways and stuff. He's just, and yes, I do have the papers. He is my emotional support cat. I went and got that all protected so that I never have to be without him. I don't take him places because if I took him somewhere, then he would always want to go. And I just couldn't imagine taking him everywhere. And then it wouldn't be fair to the other two who just love laying around here. But it's funny, when I leave, he'll sit there and just look out the window next to the door, and then he'll just be sitting there looking out for me to come home and looking through there. And he's, oh, yeah, here you are. Come on, Boo. Come on. Come on. Just be nice. So I'm loading all of the videos that are here onto my Patreon. And so no one has taken responsibility for their terroristic action to my channel yet. Usually, someone will take responsibility for their little attack, but nope, no one's taking responsibility for it. I did hear from a lot of people now that there was a big swath of channels that got taken down at the same time. It's upsetting to me because some of the channels that I heard were taken down, they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's channel got taken down. I'm like, I've heard of that creator, and I thought that they got taken down a long time ago. And oh no, they just came back and made another channel. And that person is known for really going after people and really, being aggressive and bullying towards people and go in real life. And that's just upsetting. And it's upsetting when you see channels that, well, can you get down? When you see channels that are breaking the rules every day. And there's a channel right now that is literally breaking rules probably every 10 minutes by doing the most outrageous things you could imagine, and having people call or the popo for wellness checks on her. I've seen 3 times so far. So it's to the point the police have told her to stay offline. She still keeps going, but people keep giving her money. And she's obviously, using substances and drinking as she's going. And it's pretty obvious that that's why she's asking for money, right? This person says right a lot too, so I probably got the right herpes from them. If you listen to somebody who says like a lot or right, like this person does, you start doing them. Like I say, it's like the word herpes, you get the like herpes or the right herpes. I wonder if you guys know who I'm talking about. I don't even want to say this person's name, but it's out there now not to give her money because she's, on all kinds of assistance and gets paid on the first. So yes, this time of month she doesn't have the money for the illegal substances and what she's using. So it's out there, don't give her cash, don't give her cash. People are like, oh yeah, I didn't give her cash. No, I bought her something on her Amazon wish list, and no, I bought her gift cards. And so it's all like, oh yeah, buy her gift cards. Are you guys all, not you guys, are the people that do this under a freaking rock? There are machines in certain stores where you can put gift cards in to get cash. They literally give you, $1. So like if you had a $50 gift card, you'd get like $12 cash. But it's the cash that they want. So when these scammers do this and people are like, don't give them money because they're going to do this, and then they're, oh yeah, we'll just give gift cards. Yeah, I'll give a gift card so that I know that it's not going to go to that. Or if you do the Amazon thing or whatever, they go and they take these things back and get the cash, or they put them on Facebook Marketplace or whatever and get the cash. Don't give to people who are actively using substances. They are on government assistance for a reason that, their families have cut them off and whatever, and they're not going to, be homeless and whatnot because they're on government assistance to make sure that doesn't happen. And they have caseworkers and whatnot, but they're finding ways to get on the internet and finding all kinds of enablers. And I just have to shake my head because seeing those channels not be taken down, and mine was, my videos have about a 95% like to dislike ratio. I do get some dislikes, believe it or not, but to see that, 95% of them, and that's on the low end. Most of them are 98% like to dislike. So like my lowest, I think I have a 94, but I mean, most of them, are in that, 96 and whatnot. Oh, God, I have a toothache again. I'm sitting there freaking, oh, boo, boo, boo. Don't do it. No, nothing, Pete. Have a good setup here. Come here, boo, boo. Come here, boo. Come here, boo, boo. Boo, boo, what are you doing? You looking at who Mama's talking to? So I'm sitting there, I'm going to rub my face to try to get the toothache to go away. Looks like I'm sitting there freaking rubbing the pink canoe on my face. I'm sitting there diddling my freaking cheek. I'll have all my dental work done by the 15th, and then I'll have my surgery on the 17th of December. So I'll be all right, but getting there to my shoulder and my teeth, like I say, I turned 50 and my whole body just needs it just needs an overhaul. Huh, boo? Want to sit here and talk to Mom? Want to talk to Mom? So, I want to thank you all for standing by me and staying with me because I've kind of been silent. I haven't been giving you guys content, and I always try to be worth your time. And so I'm really sorry that I have not been giving you regular content, and I thank you for standing by me and not giving up on me. It's really nice to see you guys still there for me. I have backed up all these videos on Patreon, like I say, and I'm going to try and build it up a little bit so that if this happens again, we have another venue to go through. And I'll keep it cheap. I'll put it like $5. And you know what? Quite frankly, $5 is hard for me to come up with sometimes on a credit card just because. And so I understand if even that's kind of too much for some people. And then what will happen is we'll do something like, if my channel gets put back up, then we'll put what was just on the other one back there. So, I'll try to do something so it's really reasonable. But like I say, I appreciate you all. So because I was feeling better today and I sat up for a little bit, I was going through the intranet and I found something kind of cool. And I started looking at it. I'm like, no, let me read this to you guys because you guys would want to hear this. Guess what it is? You guys ready? It is Christopher and Shannon Watts bankruptcy filing from June 2015. There is 40 pages of it, so I won't read like every little tiny detail, but I thought, ooh, I've never seen this. Why don't we check it out together? So here we go. So it starts out as filed in, oh, there's a good boy. Thank you, boo-boo. Thank you, boo-boo. Thank you, love. Thank you, honey. He's going to go to sleep. So, it was filed in the United States Bankruptcy Court in the District of Colorado. And it was, it had both of them on. So we had Shanann Catherine Watts and Christopher Lee Watts. Now, it says all other names used. So we have that, we go Shanann. We go Shan, Ann, Catherine King. Okay. Now, up here on the thing above it, it has Shanann Catherine. I thought that she altered the spelling because she wanted it to be more Shanann. So I would have assumed we would have seen more aliases in there, but we, with the different spellings, but we don't see that here. And it was, of course, at that 2825 Saratoga Trail in Frederick, Colorado, 80516. So we go over here, and they did the individual bankruptcy, Chapter 7, and the debts are primarily consumer debts, defined as incurred by an individual, primarily for personal, family, or household purposes. So there you go. And they paid the full filing fee. And it says estimated number of creditors. And it's got down here, and the space for 1 to 49 is marked, and it said estimated assets they have between 100,000 to 500,000, and they have estimated liabilities at 100,000 to 500,000. So we go down here, and their attorney was Michael Watton, and this was filed June 2 of 2015. Now we know that was 3 years and 2 months before the unspeakable happened, and we know that at that time, between 2015 and 2018, they had accrued that much more in personal debt. So in 2015, their debts were released, and in 3 years and 2 months, all of it was brought back up, which just really, means they were living they were not living within their means. And it's just, there we go. And just the basics here, going through, nothing too juicy here. Going down here, it's just more of the attorneys and whatnot, officials. So page 1 through 4 of the 40 are just the formalities. Come here, kisses. I'm in here. She's caterwauling. A cat farm around here. Okay. And so they check the box here that they are required to do credit counseling. And so it says within the 180 days before filing of my bankruptcy case, I received a briefing from a credit counseling agency approved by the United States trustee or bankruptcy administrator that outlined the opportunities for available credit counseling and assisted me in performing a related budget analysis. And I have a certificate from that agency describing the services provided to me. And it says attach a copy of the certificate and the copy of any debt repayment plan developed through the agency. Now, I think that's a very vital point here, because so many people say, oh, well, she didn't know, and she didn't know what to do, and she didn't know, and if somebody would have just talked to her, and blah, 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 on everything, because people just love to make excuses for her shitty ass behavior. And I think that this is really pivotal to say that, you know what, they went to debt counseling, that they had to, and that they were in no way, shape, or form unaware of what had happened and the gravity of it, and that they had a budget analysis. And so that meant that they were looking at all of the money and saying this much comes in, this much comes out. So how all of that information that was put into them was, well, not them, her, was put in one ear and out the other is interesting. And so Christopher Lee Watts signed it, and then here we go, and we've got Ms. Shanann Catherine Watts, who signed it, that she did too. So she really knows that she has a budget, that she went through debt counseling, blah, 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 blah. And so then we go here, Statement of Financial Affairs, which is over here to 8 to 40. So now, what we are looking at when we get over here to page 8 of 40 in the bankruptcy papers, then what it says here is that in 2013, their income combined was $147,256,000. So in 2001, so 2013, we've got 147,256. 147,256. How could they be getting in this much debt with that much money? So then we're going to go to 2014 because the girls, Bella was born in 2004. How? What? Okay. So, here we go. Well, this is interesting. Very interesting. Because this is both employment income. So in 2013, they had $147,256 in combined income. 2014, it went to $90,789. So this goes, so we're going to go 9789. Okay. Now then we go over here to 2015, where it is currently where they're filing this, and their combined income went to $40,491.14. What? How did they get that house? When did they buy that house? $40,409. Whoa. This is crazy. Because let's bring out a calculator. In 2013, they made $147,256. And by the next year, they made 9789 equals, okay, so from 2013 to 14, they were minus $56,467. Okay, so then they went even less than that, because then they went from 90,000 to 40,000. So they went from $90,789 to 40,491 equals, so they went down another 50,000. Okay, so you can say when she had Bella, she stopped working, which, of course, it didn't look like she stopped working because she pretended to be doing things. But here is the proof in the pudding. So they continued to spend like they still had the $147,256 a year when they were out 56,000 the 1 year and then down 50,000. So if we put that together, I'm gonna go 56,467. Wow. Okay. So they were down between those 2 years, they were down $106,765. So let's check out how much debt they got. Because this is where, and I bet you that the income of what they made in 16, 17, and 18, well, half of 18, 16 and 17 probably tells a story too. But I've got to find out what year they got that house. Maybe it says in here. We'll have to see. Because I just don't, they didn't have the income to verify. And when they got it, already the housing market was more strict and you had to show. I don't see how they got that house. So if you say, so then essentially probably all they did in 2014 and 15 was pay the mortgage. And then she decided to flip the script and not pay the mortgage, I guess. Wow. Okay. I told you guys it was going to be juicy. So that's 8 out of 40. So then we go here. And we go over here and it's talking about all of okay, let's see if we can, it's talking about anything that's been repossessed, foreclosed, blah 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 blah, and there's nothing there. We're going none. Oh, now let's get down here. It says that they've not received any gifts, and it says they've not gotten any losses. And it looks like they paid $1,140 to file this bankruptcy. Oh, come on. Okay. So they have this debt here. What? For $350,000. Name and address of trustee, relationship to debtor. And it says unknown. And it says 8 of 2012. Describe property transferred and value received. And it's, oh, this was her house. That's what it was. So this is probably her former house, because it says that the address is 1000 Peninsula Drive. I'll look this up to make sure that that's what it is. And Belmont. You guys are probably out there going, yes, that's it. And 27012, and for $350,000. Did she sell the house for $350,000? I'm expecting you guys to answer because I know that you guys all are answering, right? You guys are like, yes. So in 2012, she sold it. So that happened in 2012 that they sold that house. Okay. Or she sold that house. That would make sense. So then we've got the 2012, and everything in there said that everything that we've talked about with this, we know that she broke even with that home and had to sell it with the furniture. And we all know that she liked only the best. So that's in there. Got that. So then if they bought the house in 2013, yeah, because they would have been living with the Deets and they're just saving money, I guess. Okay, so here we go. So they're asking about if there's any safety deposit boxes, and it says none. It talks about if there's any set-offs, and it says no. So we're now entering page 12 of 40. And doesn't say, it says property held for another person. They say no. Prior address of debtor. So it says that Christopher's former address was 3040 Trinity Loop in Broomfield, Colorado. Was that the Deets? Because they put it from 4 of 2012 to 4 of 2013. They're putting 1 year there. So that could be. You guys are, like I said, you guys are probably like answering me, and you're like going, yes, yes. Okay, so it asks for spouses and former spouses, blah, 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 blah. And it says environmental information, environmental law, blah, 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 blah. And we go over here and we're on 13 of 40, and it's talking about social security numbers, books, records, and financial statements. And this is all checked no. And now we're heading over to 14 out of 40 inventories. So it says blah, 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 blah. Doesn't have anything. They don't have any stocks. They don't have any partners, officers, directors, and shareholders. Withdrawals from a partnership or distributions by a corporation. Apparently, the shenanigan did not report the money that she may or may not have absconded with. And that's alleged. Don't come for me. She did not report it. No pension funds. Okay. We're up to 15 out of 40. We're going to go to 16 out of 40, and then it's a summary of schedules. Okay, so it says that their real property is worth $400,000. So they're saying that the house they live in now. And then it says their personal property is worth $13,329. Oh, come on, that furniture. Oh, that's the dining room alone, woman. And the come on. So they grossly underestimated their personal property. I can tell you that. I can absolutely do that. So then it says the liabilities, creditors holding secured claims, $378,348. So that would be how much they owe on the home out of the $400,000, I would assume. And then it says creditors holding unsecured priority claims, and that's a 0. And then creditors holding unsecured non-property claims, and we've got the $70,472. So that must be the amount of debt that they accrued from in 3 years. And that really speaks to how they still were living like they had the $147,000 in income, because while they, lost $106,765 over the 2 years, they accrued $70,000. So looks like they might have tighten the belt a little bit, but not enough. Current income of individual debtors, 4,909. Current expenditures of individual debtor, 4,897.66. What? Okay, so what they're saying here, yeah, that works out. There's more. So they'd have $12 or $13 left over for food. No wonder that pantry was empty. Okay. So, because it says current income of the individual. So that would be 4,909, and expenditures is 4,897.66. So let's see here. What is that? This is why Christopher wanted a smaller house. He knew on paper that this was never going to work, that they needed to sell then, not 3 years later. This was never going to work out, because then, oh man, this is so bad. Yeah. So they would be left with $11.37 a month for things like food. That's why there was nothing in the pantry. You know what? They don't ask questions at the frickin' food bank. They don't care. You just bring in a power bill and your driver's license, and they don't care if you live in $1 million mansion. They care about what is happening right now. And if you are hungry and you cannot get food for your kids, you swallow your pride and you go to the food bank and you get the basics and you make it work. You make things from scratch and you do what you can. The food bank is going to give you so much. They are so generous at the food banks. When my medical debt absolutely brought us to our knees and we had just had to relocate and everything from another surgery and whatnot, we had to go to the food bank, and I was crying because I was so embarrassed. But there was nothing to be embarrassed about. I was welcomed. They were totally normal people there. And this sweet, sweet man was running it, and he asked me what was wrong. And I said, I just feel so bad. I said, I just got sick, wasn't planning on getting sick, and I've got 3 really hungry kids and I can't feed them. And he said this food was going to go in the garbage anyway. And because of these programs, they make it so that this food that was going to go in the garbage anyway is there for people. And they have so much left over even after that, that I don't need to worry. And he said, even when you get on your feet, if you still use this and then you're able to donate to something else in the community, this is food that was going to go in the garbage anyway. So don't ever be ashamed. It's like anybody is one paycheck away from being in your position. And it really helped. It helped me get the basics, and my kids were able to get so much. People are very generous, when it comes to kids things and donating for the kids. And I had much more food than, they give you enough food for the week. It was enough for like 3 weeks for us. I can never say thank you enough for, the food banks being so amazing. And, now I make sure that, I regularly go through my pantry and things that, are not going to get used and whatnot. I donate, and just, like I say, I'll just always feel so much gratitude for that. And I want all of you guys to know of that resource. I think they call them food pantries now. It's not called the food bank anymore. And you know what? This is the thing, because those motherfuckers started locking the dumpsters. You used to be able to go and freaking go and get the shit you needed with nobody there to look. You just had to make sure you had a spotter, so somebody to hold your feet. Because I had an unfortunate dumpster diving accident. I think that I talked to you guys about it. It was on my college campus. They had some great boxes. I have a thing for nice boxes, and I went by myself. I got off out of class early, and I went in just to get a couple of these real nice looking boxes. And I'm top heavy, and so I fell in, and it took me a while to get back out. And so now, that's just my thing, is that I don't think I dumpster dive alone again. I need somebody to grab my feet. But like I said, these motherfuckers put padlocks on the dumpsters so you can't get to the food. So you apparently have to go in through the front door of the food bank. And okay, there's my rant. I don't. Why did they put the freaking padlocks on the dumpsters? Anyway, anyway. Okay. All right. Rant over. Okay. What do we have here? Assets and liabilities. Okay. We got our assets here. And it says that their assets are $413,329.17. And their total liabilities are $448,820.11. Let's play that number out and see what we're talking about here. Because, see, I don't even see how they're talking about the house being an asset, because it's only the amount of equity that you have is the asset. Let me see here. Oh, if we play with this here, let me go 448. Oh, maybe that's what they did in equity. Maybe that's how that number plays out. Okay, yeah. So here it is. Creditors holding unsecured non-priority claims is 70,472, like we talked about. So that's going to be right in there with that. And there's just, what did the debt counselor say to these people? So this proves that she wasn't making any money being the receptionist for the children's hospital, right? Could it be that she lied? Shenanigan would never lie. Okay. So, their assets and liabilities come over to, they're upside down, $35,490.94. So their debt there is $35,490, which comes out to, okay. Whoa. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but I mean, I can get these numbers and go, what the fuck? Okay, so now, and oh, here we go. Here, someone's got these student loans, right? So student loan obligations, and that must be, who's got $11,245 in student loans. And the student loans, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you go and you get your student loans, you have to go to this little class, and it shows you this old PowerPoint. It has this big snake on it and stuff, and it's like, it asks you repeatedly, can you claim bankruptcy on student loans? No. Can you, get out of them? And how can you get out of your student loans? Die. I mean, there was no way. And I had no idea that was our current sitting president, bidet, that made that. I mean, I was like, oh, okay, that's nice of you to like knock off $10,000 on my student loans, sir. And then to find out that he's the one that made it so that you can't claim bankruptcy or anything on him, I'm like, well, what kind of a freaking backwards ass fucking goddamn nice thing? Well, yeah, it wasn't very nice. So, average income $4,999, average expenses $4,000. Okay, so now we go current monthly income is $8,391 from some other form. Where are we going here? Where'd that come from? Average income and average expenses. Current monthly income from Form C. So I've got something else going on here. But this student loan thing, who had the student loans? I know that one of you out there is raising your hand for me to pick on you. Yes, I'm picking on you. Yes, what's the answer? Is it from when he had to go to those courses to learn how to communicate better, and he made that PowerPoint on all of the things that could fuck up a marriage, and then he successfully did all those things that could fuck up a marriage with her? Is that where? Because where is the student loan debt coming from? Because Ronnie and Cindy paid for Christopher to go to NASCAR school. They paid for that. So how were these loans? And then don't somebody say, well, she went to nursing school. No, she did not. She did not. She did not. You do not take both general education classes and have clinicals in an RN program. It does not happen. Okay? I went to nursing school, had to drop out, as y'all know, because I was extremely allergic to latex. Now hospitals are latex free. I've always been ahead of the curve. I've always been a trendsetter. I would have loved for things to be latex free when they should have been, so I'd be a freaking nurse. I would have made all this money, all this stuff. Oh, saved all these lives. You know me. I'm probably like the original Florence Nightingale, right? So anyway, I know from back in 1996 the way nursing programs go, and they have not changed because I have friends in the nursing program currently, and not a freaking thing has changed, and I can basically ask them, oh, are you on this? Oh yeah, is this what this? Oh yeah, I think that they haven't changed a thing. They're still using the same old PowerPoints from the freaking student loan things. So you do clinicals in your second year of nursing when you've already done your first year, and you do your gen eds, your general educations first. You cannot just enter a nursing program. You have to have your prerequisites done. Your prerequisites get you a certain amount of points based on the grade that you get out of your prerequisites, okay? So most people go ahead and close it out and get their associate's degree. And then they go to their 2-year nursing program. So you went to school for 4 years, so you'd think you'd have a bachelor's degree, right? No, it doesn't work that way. No. If you want a bachelor's in nursing, well, that's a whole different thing. Probably smarter to just do it that way by the time that you're all done with everything. But your general education things have to be all out of the way, and you need to be able to place for certain things. You need to be able to place to get in certain classes that you have to take before you can apply to the nursing program. Now, in a 2-year nursing program, you're going to go through the first year, and the first year basically then you can test out to be an LPN, a licensed practical nurse, licensed vocational nurse. They are kind of getting rid of those right now and kind of changing things in the way that they're doing things with medical providers. But the way that she was talking, and she was saying that, oh, she was taking, this class and this class and then clinicals and whatnot, there's no nurse that's going to look at that and say that, yeah, she's a nursing program. In fact, me and everybody else who's a nurse is going to say, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. She was not a nurse. She was not a nurse. She was not in a nursing program. Now, we do know that she said she was taking some general education classes. She was lying about the clinicals. So, arguably, this could be her student debt. Wouldn't surprise me. She probably went there and got the loans and then didn't go to school. So then we are over here, all the way over here to 18 out of 40, and it said basically nothing. So then here we are talking about the amount of secured claim and whatever. Come on, get to the juicy thing. I want to see what kind of credit cards they have here. Come on, you motherfuckers. Okay, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Oh. So this is interesting because the debts here say a checking account with USAA. USAA is a military thing. USAA provides the insurance for military. My husband is a Navy veteran, so I know these things that it's for military, not civilians, unless they've changed something drastically. So I would assume that she kept the same checking and savings that she had while she was married to Leonard King. And that's where we still have this one checking account. So it says current value of debtor's interest in property without deducting any secured blah, 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 blah. So it shows that they have a joint checking account. So it says cash on hand and it says none. And then over here it says checking account with USAA, savings account with USAA, and savings account with USAA. Okay, now it says that she's got, so the current value, it says that in the checking account with USAA, the checking there is $864.34. In the savings account, there's a whopping $3.51. That's actually more than I have in savings right now, I'm just going to tell you. And then the savings account with USAA, and the other joint, she has $6. Okay, I'm not knocking that because that's more than I have in savings. I'm not the kind of person who saves money. I mean, you can't take it with you. What are you going to do with it? Yeah. So anyway, there we go. So the current value of household goods and furnishings. There is listed the living room set, television, dining room set, stove, refrigerator. Okay, assholes. Okay, the stove and the refrigerator are... Okay. There are fixtures in a house. So when you buy a house, the appliances are part of the fixtures. I have heard that there is new language that the refrigerator is not considered a fixture. So when you go to buy a house that is on the secondary market, then you make sure in the buyer's request in your bid, you make sure that you say, okay, I want to make sure that the refrigerator, washer, dryer stays. Washer and dryer are not fixtures. Washer and dryer would be a bonus in most things. I've never seen a stove listed as an asset because a stove is a fixture. Most of the stoves are built in. So if you have appliances that are built in, then absolutely they're fixtures. So this is interesting that they put the stove. Like I said, the refrigerator is arguable because blah, 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 blah. I mean, most people are going to leave it unless they have a special attachment to the refrigerator, whatever. So that's interesting. So they're saying their assets, get this, they're saying that their assets add up to $1,455. And you're going to laugh because they're saying that their living room set, their television, their dining room set, their stove, refrigerator, miscellaneous appliances, 2-bedroom sets, toys, a laptop, a desk, a lawnmower, tools, and a washer and dryer all add up to $1,455. What kind of a scam ass lawyer allowed that? Because, like I say, their dining room set alone would have been $1,455. Let's just call it $1,500. 2-bedroom sets. Okay, so this was 15. This one before they had Bella. So, okay, so they're saying their main bedroom set and Bella's are included in that. Their bedroom set alone would have been $1,500. So they got some weird scamming ass lawyer to have approved this because they, like I say, they greatly underestimated their assets here. Oh, artwork, $50. I saw some pictures around there. Clothing, $500. Well, fuck that leopard dress alone and all the dick it gets. I mean, that alone, good cock, it's hard to come by. Literally. $500, my ass. And those palest ass looking shoes on. Oh, good lord. Wedding rings and costume jewelry, $1,000. Well, that's interesting that you went ahead and put that there. So honestly, when you're saying that all of that furniture that you splurged on, and honestly, the stove and the refrigerator would be worth $1,500. You bunch of weirdos. Oh, a camera for $50. And then it says, oh, this is interesting. Whole life insurance policy through USAA. Current cash surrender value less than contributions in the last 48 years. And it says joint is $520.32. Now, it's interesting to me because it has been stated that SW had Mamaru as the beneficiary on her insurance policy. According to this, it says joint. It's considering it joint, and it's $520.32. That's very interesting. So they're saying their complete assets, once again, are $4,449.17. That's their total assets. And like I say, that's total. That is complete bull malarkey. No way. There's no way. I mean, where's the receipts for all of it? You know what? Okay. I was going to say, well, what if, as we're coming, because I did not peek at this. I decided to share this with you guys because I wanted you guys to read this with me. What if they went through and said, oh, okay, well, we bought this living room set from Bob's rental place and we still owe $1,500 on it. It was $2,000. What if they just took like the amount that you have there, but then you would claim Bob's rental service in this? So no, that wouldn't work. I mean, this attorney shady as fuck because he allowed this to go through. That's my opinion, sir. I don't know how a judge or the attorney filing this bought that they only had $1,455 in that maybe now that both the judge and the attorneys have seen, because we've all seen the inside of that house, and seen that, yeah, they were grossly underestimating it. Now, interest in IRA, ERISA, or other pension or profit sharing, it says that there is $600 in there in a 401k through employer, and it says it's joint. So they got a $600 there. It's definitely not the $10,000 that was pulled out to get her to get out of town for 6 weeks or whatnot. Oh, here we go here. The 2006 Ford Mustang with mileage with 97,000. So he had his Mustang then still in 2015. Wasn't there somebody who was saying that when they got to Colorado, they got rid of the Mustang right away? It doesn't say that now, does it? Because it says that the Mustang was worth $8,275 in 2015. It'd be 11 years old. Yeah, mileage 97,000. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, Jesus Christ. They put the dog for $5. Dieter, you're worth more than $5. Dieter, please. Dieter, don't look at these documents. They put the... Can you put a value of $5 on Dieter? Man. Dieter. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm speechless. Speechless. I could never claim bankruptcy because the value on my boo-boo alone is many millions. Many millions. You could not give me $20 million and take my boo-boo from me. Nope. That's right, boo-boo, huh? Lord, so nice. Mm-hmm. So apparently Dieter's worth $5, and the Mustang at that point, so it was 11 years old, was worth $8,275. When in 2006 they were about $50,000 because I got a brand new one in 2006 and I had my little midlife crisis. But now I'm midlife, so I don't know what crisis that was other than I had to have a Mustang. We won't talk about that. But anyway, let's see here. Let me see. So we're going 8,280 in total on that. So they bring out all these things. So there's probably all these other worksheets that come through here, towards the end. So then we're in Schedule C, property claimed as exempt. So what do they have as exempt here? Okay, so where it has here we go. I jumped ahead because they are claiming the exception to which debtor is entitled to an 11 USC, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're saying they're real property. They have $21,652 in equity because the current value of the property is $400,000. So that makes total sense right there. And then it says the checking or financial certificates of deposit. Value of claimed exemption is 75% on the $864 in the savings account. So they're taking 75% off of that. So they must be able to say, hey, this amount in this checking account is already for these bills or something. I don't know. And they got that. They go back through the assets, blah, 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 blah. Basically repeating what that is. And it repeats once again that Dieter's only worth $5. Now, we're going to go here and we're going to get to the juicy stuff because it's going to have all of the creditors. Now, it says here that they have their home loan through Chase Home Finance. So, and probably the amount 378 is probably what it was because we don't know when she stopped paying the mortgage. And there we go. Page 25 of 40. There we go. Here we go. All right. Jeez, what? What? Oh, you guys are going to love this. Oh. Okay, I'm going to write these down because I got to look up what these are. Okay, so the creditor's name here. You ready? They're all joint. So Christopher's stepping right up saying, yeah, I was part of this. It says BB&T. And it's in North Carolina. It says in 2015 there was a credit card purchase and the amount of the credit card is $14,796. What is BB&T? Huh? BB&T for $15K. And you know what? You would say that's probably the furniture, but would they have brought... No, because they didn't have the house. What did they do in North Carolina in 3 years? Okay, it says 2015 credit card purchases. Okay, so the date claim was incurred and consideration for claim if claim is subject to set off, so state. So it's saying that this is the amount that the creditor is saying they owe. So let's say that there's probably late fees and whatnot, but still $15,000 for BB&T. Bondage, butt beads, and tape. I don't know. What's BB&T? And then the next one is Belk for $43.55. Okay, I'm not concerned about that one. Capital One, $4,026. I get that. That's just, Capital One is just your basic credit card. And then here we go. Okay, this is why I'm saying that, there's some shit here that is not ethical, because right here it says Capital One Furniture Row. Okay, so I'm not sure what Furniture Row is. It says that it's Furniture Row has their financing done through Capital One in Salt Lake City. The other, she's got another Capital One, or they both do. They have another Capital One out of Salt Lake City. So all Capital One things must be this in Salt Lake City. P.O. Box, just different P.O. boxes. Okay. So, but one of them says Furniture Row, and it says credit card purchases of $2,919, and then above it, with Capital One, it says $4,026. With this being the same financier, it looks like that was their furniture in there, where that's saying, and that would line up a little bit better, as almost $7,000 right there, because $4,026, so it's 4,026 and $2,919.08. That would be right there. Yeah, that's $7,000. I would say that's more where the furniture was bought. I bet you that would track right back to it. Just don't know what the $15,000 coming out of North Carolina was. Okay, here we go. Oh, you guys are going to laugh. Here you go. Choice recovery. Collection amount. Chiropractic and wellness. $740. So she was going to the chiropractor. Oh, okay. I don't know where you guys figured this out, but you know what? They have student loans that they're saying that they're getting a set off for 4,208. You have to die before your student loans get taken care of. How did this happen? You can't claim your student loans on a bankruptcy. What? And then there's a Comenity Bank. So Comenity does like Victoria's Secret. Oh, there we are. Comenity through Pier 1. So there you go. Pier 1, $289. I'm laughing at the chiropractic and wellness because it just couldn't be anybody other than her. And I'm surprised that a chiropractor let them go without paying that day, let alone racking up $740. That's interesting. But she could suck a hole through it. She could talk her way out of anything. Let me see here. So then, federal loan servicing. What the hell? Okay. Ford Motor Credit, National Bankruptcy Service Center, notice only in $0. Okay. Home Depot. Home Depot, 1,682. Yep. I can see that. I don't know why no one else could see that they didn't buy a bunch of stuff all over the house. The paint and everything, like god awful colors over yours. Kaiser Permanente Medical Services, 1,300. Macy's, 1,547. Nordstrom, 3,038. Sally Mae student loan, 7,037. What? Okay, I need to find out who's not paying attention to the snake on the PowerPoint that says that you cannot claim your student loans in bankruptcy because they're claiming their student loans in bankruptcy, and that snake on the PowerPoint said you couldn't. Okay, so let's see here. Macy's, 1,500, Nordstrom, 3,000. See the clothes she had and the clothes she had for the girls and everything. She didn't pay for them. Everything she had, she did not earn the money to pay for. Somebody else paid for it. And now those debts are claimed in bankruptcy. Go back to the overall cost of everything that we buy. I am 50 years old and I have never claimed bankruptcy. Although my medical bills crippled us, because when I got sick, like I did, and I'll explain one of these days all that happened to me, it was a catastrophic illness, so it went over and above the $1 million point that our insurance covered. And we had Aflac. That actually really was wonderful to have Aflac during that. But there was still, $40,000 from one hospital alone. There was so much. So it took us forever to pay that down, but we did not claim bankruptcy. Like some people I know here. Sears, 1,500. So yeah, look at that. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. Look at this. Look at the screen of the Fox, because I'm not. Oh, you assholes. Oh, you. Here we are. Credit card purchases. Sharon View Federal Credit Union, $18,968. Stern Recovery Services collection amount for Mecklenburg Radiology, $96. Now, remember, folks, we're supposed to believe that the debt was because she was so sick with the lupus and medical bills. Are you hearing the Nordstrom and the Macy's and the Home Depot here and the Furniture Row and the Pier 1? Are you? Because here's a Toys R Us for $298.21 for toys that never got to be played with. Probably the crib set and credit card purchases. So they had a credit card that had a limit of $20,000 or whatever, what, 15,000? I mean, how do you have a credit card where you have $18,968 on it? So Mecklenburg Radiology, that's 96. Like I said, the Toys R Us didn't pay for the toys. Oh no, somebody else has to do that because she can't be responsible. Oh, and then here you are, USAA and credit card. So she had a credit card for, oh, you know what? Oh my God. I'm okay now. Oh my God. I'm going to go off in just a second. Hold on. Because the USAA Federal Savings Bank, here you go, credit card purchases, $3,860. Now, let's go over here where Wells Fargo is doing the financings for American Furniture. $1,559. So how much furniture have we seen now? A lot more than the under $1,500 that they claimed was all that they had. How did a judge allow that little amount to be claimed? Unless, maybe they did do a worksheet. Maybe that's what's going to come up here. Because, and then Good Samaritan Medical Center, 2,612. Okay, so let's see how much of this was medical here. Let's go Good Samaritan. Let's go 2,612. And let's go back up to that Mecklenburg so we can see how much of this was medical, because we have to be saying that everything with Saint Shanann was so pure and worthy. Okay, 96. She didn't ever do any of this, and she was the perfect mother, locking those kids right up. Let me see here. So medical services here, Kaiser. Let's go 1301. With these lies, there's always a little bit of truth, isn't there? And let's stick the chiropractor in medical, just because I want to be generous here to show how much was medical and how much was credit cards. 740 for the chiropractor. $740. So we'll be fair here, and we'll add those up too, so that we can make sure that Saint Shanann is properly worshipped. Let's see here. Now we are at 27 of 40. Okay, actually, okay, Sears was 14. Okay, there we go. 1449. Okay, there we go. Hold on. So, got that there. Where are we at? What? Okay, so the Ford Explorer is a 2015, and they have a signed lease that was began in 2014 for 40 months, and it's $588 a month. Okay. So they have both the Ford Explorer and the Mustang. So they have a brand new Explorer that they were leasing. I had a Ford Explorer too. What year was mine? minus 16. It was silver. I loved it. Silver and black. They're great, but it wasn't big enough to put all my kids in. The Durango was a better fit for me ultimately, and I'm on my third Durango. I love Durangos. So there's this 588 a month. Okay, that's 588 a month for a lease. For a 40-month lease, and it began in 12 of 2014, and that 2014 is where they dropped that 56,000. So putting in another, nearly $600 car payment when they had dropped from the 2013 to 2014 was not a great financial move. But now we see that they have the Mustang and the Explorer. Oh, 40 months, it'd be 3 years. So they probably traded in the Explorer for the Lexus. Oh no, but she earned that. No, she did not. Okay, so here we go here. So it comes over here and it has your income. So we have over here where Christopher has his Anadarko Petroleum, and it says that he's been employed there for 6 months. So he started working. He took that big of a pay cut to go to Anadarko from working. I had heard that before, but I mean, when you're seeing the amount that he went down, so he's saying that in 2015, he's worked at Anadarko for 6 months. Now, it says here that Shanann worked at the Children's Hospital for 2 years. So it says that basically she started in 2013. Okay. It's just kind of nice because seeing these things, in black and white, when you hear this and you hear that, it's kind of frustrating because you don't know where that originated from. I like to be able to cite my source. And so I'm seeing some of these numbers here that have been thrown around and things. And, I heard that, she has a stack of credit cards and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's nice to kind of know where the spending really was. When it's said that, they had to claim bankruptcy because she was so sick and had all these medical bills. Well, it's going to be nice to say that, when we get through this, I'm going to make sure that, this much was done at Nordstrom, this much was done at Macy's, this much was done at Home Depot and furniture and whatnot, and this much was medical. Because I'm telling you, we've got the numbers here and we got the receipts, and like I say, it's just really nice to see it all in black and white. The amounts here, what they're saying it says estimate monthly income as of the date you file this form. If you have nothing to report on any line, write 0. Include your non-filing spouse unless you're separated. If you or your non-filing spouse have more than one employer, combine the information for all employers at that person on the lines below. If you need more space, attach a separate sheet. Okay? So we're going debtor 1 and debtor number 2. And this is saying the estimated monthly income. For Christopher is saying that he makes $5,266.21 a month. And she is stating that she makes $1,841.67. Now, again, I am no mathematician, but remember when Christopher always said that they made the same amount? She was saying she was making that much with the MLMs and whatnot. She always made the same amount of him. Well, so their combined income per month at that point in 2015 would be $7,107. Do that by 12, which means that then in 2015 they would have made 85,284. So why are the taxes coming in for the 2015 putting in 40,491? Numbers don't add up. Something ain't right. Okay. So now we're going to look over here, and it has what comes in. So that amount that they had there was their gross, because, and it has everything that's taken out. So tax, blah, 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 dental. So Christopher had dental insurance, AD and D. I don't know what AD and D is. AD and D. Deduction. I'll have to look that up. AD and D. Vision, 1168. Parking, doesn't have to pay anything. Life insurance, 3059. So Christopher was carrying life insurance. It does not have a space for her life insurance. Christopher was paying $30 a month on life insurance. Now, was that just for him? Don't know. But it was definitely on his side, not hers. Interesting. Nonetheless. So, AD&D, I don't know what that is. Vision, 1168. If you can put vision insurance on, if your employer offers it, always do vision and dental. Honestly, don't know when you're going to need it. My dental is 7,200. I think it's 7,200. For all that I have to have done, because my teeth just got wrecked from, like I said, I went 20 years with no cavities, blah, blah, blah. But then when I got sick, my teeth just freaking went. And so to get everything fixed, and an implant and my crown and another one pulled, all of that. And insurance is going to cover. My husband's insurance is amazing through the federal government. I will only have to pay, it would be right under $3,000. So they'll pay the $4,000, and ours will be $3,000. And it's terrible that we still have to pay so much when you're paying in, but we need to do more and make sure that here we go. We need to do more and make sure that people can get dental done, because, like I say, this toothache that I have right now, it's just terrible. Okay, so now other monthly income, direct sales commissions. Okay, so she is claiming $111 in direct sales commission, and that is in 2015. Now, was that the Amway? She was still selling with Daddy Roo. I think that she got into the Rive in 2016, right? But she did the lip set, she did the lashes, I thought she did Unique, she did the LuLaRoe or switch back and forth LuLaRoe. She did the Usborne books. That's why those books were all on display in the playroom that were not allowed to be read or touched. The Rive, the Amway. So she's claiming $111 a month. So then all of that goes in, and they're saying the monthly income is $4,909. That does not add up there. Okay. So that must be gross and net. Oh, here we go. Do you expect an increase or decrease within the next year after you file this form? And it says yes. It says the Watts are expecting another child, and Mrs. Watts will work fewer hours. So Mrs. Watts was going to make even less than she's stating that she's making. So she should stop spending as much. That's probably what the worksheet said. Okay, so now they claim daughter as a dependent. Ongoing expenses. The rental or home ownership expenses for your residence includes first mortgage payments and any rent for ground lot. Oh, homeowners association dues. Wow, they're right here. And they're listed in the expenses. So how did she not know where to send them when she'd been sending them the whole time? And the homeowners association dues are $44. $44 a month. Okay? So that's figured into the cost, into the budget they're doing here. So it's saying that their house payment is $2,833.66, and the HOA is added into that. So let's see here what that number comes up to. Let me do this. So their payment to their house payment is $2,877.66 a month. A lot of them have the HOA built into it. Yeah, she knew, because in the debt counseling here that she signs that she had taken, the HOA amount of $44 was considered into all of their budget, their debts, their assets, what they have. She signed a piece of paper that said that she did this. So she damn well knew the homeowners association was $44. She knew where to send it, and she wasn't paying it. Bottom line, no excuses. Saint Shanann was not making the HOA payment voluntarily. She did not forget where to send it. Okay, now here we go here, because then we have all these other things here. Oh, and another life insurance. Okay, and vehicle insurance and lease payment. So then this is where we go over here, and we're on page 35 of 40, and it goes through, and so it says like all of your expenses. And here we have childcare and children's education cost, and that is zero, because as we know, in 2015, well, she had Bella. She did not. And she was pregnant with Cece. they were not having the expense of daycare. So we don't know exactly when that came into play, but that was not a factor then. So they've got 148 for electricity, heat, natural gas, 31 for water, sewer, and garbage, 260 for the phone, food and housekeeping supplies they put as 400. Well, what I figured out, you had like $13, so you might want to cut down on that. Clothing, laundry, and dry cleaning is $60. Medical, let's see here. Medical and dental expenses, they put 100. Transportation, gas, $275 a month. Life insurance, they're paying a $48 over here where they had the other one was 30. The vehicle insurance, they put it 110. And then they had that lease payment in as the 588 in that 40-month lease that we saw. So then it's saying the monthly expenses are the $4,897. And that's where we came over here and, okay, they did all this work. I did not need to pull out my calculator because they came to the exact same thing that I said, and that they're left with $11.37 left afterwards. Now, in here, we see that they put the $400 budget for food, which, if you say, okay, so it's Christopher, Shanann, and Bella at that time, that breaks down to $100 a week for 3 people. That would be really tight as it is. So we're going to put that $11.37 back over there. We're going to say $411. You couldn't be going out. You could not be going out to eat. That's why that's why the poor girls never had pizza. They didn't know, because they could not afford food. And there was no credit cards for food. If McDonald's would have had a credit card, those girls would have had Happy Meals. Then they would have been happy. So that's how you become happy. So page 36 of 40 is the declaration concerning the debtor's schedules. And it's saying that they're declaring that these are true under penalty of perjury. And I cannot believe that they got away with this at all. And it says a fine of $500,000 or imprisonment for 5 years or both for making false statements, concealing property. Well, take a look at that house. Just tack it on to Christopher's sentence, huh? Okay, so it is saying that their services available from credit counseling agencies. That with limited exceptions, Title 109H of the Bankruptcy Code requires that all individual debtors who file for bankruptcy relief on or after October 17, 2005 receive a briefing that outlines the available opportunities for credit counseling and provides assistance in performing a budget analysis. The briefing must be given within 180 days before the bankruptcy filing. The briefing may be provided individually or in a group, including briefings conducted by the telephone or on the internet, and must be provided by a nonprofit budget and credit counseling agency approved by the United States trustee or bankruptcy administrator. The clerk of the bankruptcy court has a list that you may consult of the approved budget and credit counseling agencies. Each debtor in a joint case must complete the briefing. In addition, after filing a bankruptcy case, an individual debtor generally must complete a financial management instructional course before he or she can receive a discharge. The clerk has a list of approved financial management instructional courses. Each debtor in a joint case must complete the course. Okay, so you heard that, and we saw that in the beginning, and they both signed, they both did this, and this was put through under penalty of perjury of the law, so they had debt counseling. they had somebody sit down with them to work these numbers. They knew what the money situation was. They knew they were clearing $11 a month, if that. And the only way after a bankruptcy you get credit cards are those credit cards that mainly they're secured, where you pay the amount that then you're just like taken back against out, or these credit cards have this exorbitant amount of interest. So for her to have racked up that much debt, and we're not even counting the mortgage payments that were not paid, she knew what she was doing. She knew the financial situation was dismal because she was not working out of the home. Once she stopped working, that meant that the amount that she was pulling in, which she had stated she was making at that time while she was pregnant, the amount of money that she was making was then taken away, and it was dependent upon Christopher's income only. Okay? So she knew this. She was very well aware of the fact because they went through this whole thing with debt counseling. So once she stopped working, they only had Christopher's income. They did not have the money to be putting forth any money into an MLM when they're clearing $11. And that's with her making that $1,800. So with her not working, they were already going to be upside down based on their expenses per month. She knew it. She was aware of it. There's no way to get out of this. These are court-filed documents. And I'm going to work out these numbers here because what we're saying here, like I say, this is really kind of cool to look at this and see these receipts for what they are, because there are so many rumors out there, and I hate hearing the mistruths and lies. There are people out there that are actually saying straight up lies just for conversation points, just so that people will sit there and listen to them lying, and people still listen to them lying for some reason. I don't listen to liars. I don't have that much time in my life. So it boggles me that people still listen to liars. So out of all of the debt that they claimed, the amount of medical was $4,749 was medical debt. Out of all of that debt that they had, $4,749 was medical debt. That's it. Now, when we go over to the part where his income, okay, if we go to just his income, which is $4,909. Is that right? Okay. We go to just his. No, he makes $5,266. And we go back up to, what the expenses were per month. Okay, combined income. I don't want the combined income. I want monthly expenses. Yeah, this is crazy because let's see here. Yeah, let me look at this number again. So he makes $5,266. Their monthly expenses are $4,897. Okay. So, if he makes $5,266 a month, and their monthly bills are $4,897 a month, car payments, and that's figuring in food with 400. Oh, let me see here. Where is the mortgage? Okay, so mortgage, homeowners, when he was making the 5,266, okay. Huh. I mean, combined monthly income. Calculate monthly income. Headline this. Okay, because the gross, that's what's messing me up here. Okay, so the 5, that's where. Okay, so he grosses that much, he nets that much. If they figured in the $400 for food, once Cece was born, that's saying a family of 4 has a budget of $100 a week for a family of 4 to eat. There's no way. There's no way. And you know she wouldn't go to a food bank or anything else. You know she wouldn't make things from scratch. Let me see. Formula alone would be freaking 300 of that. Wow. I cannot believe this. There's no way they thought that they should have been keeping this house for that long. I'm going through this, making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so then their bankruptcy cost $1,167 for the filing fee, $550 for the administrative fee, so a total fee of $1,717. So filing bankruptcy got rid of their credit cards because, so that got rid of all their debt. And those numbers, their total expenditures for the month did not include any any credit card payments whatsoever. That was it. So the fact that then they racked up all of these credit cards, they couldn't have been paying them at all. So she decided to not make the mortgage payment. Instead of looking at this and saying, you know what, we need a smaller house. Christopher did not want this big, huge honking house. We know this. And I'm sure that in the debt counseling, he probably paid attention and took notes, just like I am right now. And he was saying, we can't keep this big honking house. We don't need this big honking house. And she's like, no, no, no. I'll go back to work. I'll go back to work. I'll do this. You know how she would be. And you know, she'd take a shower and put out, and then it'd all be all right. He'd go to sleep, and then they discuss it in the morning when he is making apparently his peanut butter and jelly sandwich because he can't afford anything else to eat. It would be a ramen, macaroni and cheese, peanut butter and jelly committed diet. And she'd have to be schlepping it out to the frickin' food bank. She'd have to go and do that and shut up about it and go and do what she needs to do and bring home that food and make some things like out of Spam. I don't know. I don't know how you could feed a family of 4 with $100 a week. You'd have to be very, very good about planning. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, especially not in this economy. Oh my goodness. I mean, the food is so expensive right now. And now this was filed on June 4th of 2015. This last page is 39 of 40. They've all done this. So we know now, we know without a shadow of a doubt that they had debt counseling. They had everything put on the table. They absolutely knew where every dollar was going in 2015. After they had been married for 3 years, it was put on the table. And I'm sure she was like, oh yeah, we're not, we have everything we need for the house, so we don't need to buy anything else. So from right here, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'll work more hours as soon as I'm not pregnant, blah, 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 blah. But this doesn't fit the model, does it? Because she was supposed to be so sick with her lupus and blah, blah, blah. So sick when she met him and everything, and so sick and everything. So how could she be saying that she was going to make this much money? And how was she even making that much money? Not that it's a huge amount, but it's significant. So how are we supposed to believe that she was so sick taking these 25 drugs, 25 pills a day, and there's only $5,000 of medical debt, $4,749. You know damn well that every copay and every doctor that she would have ever went to would have been claimed on this bankruptcy, and it wasn't. You can tell that she's not going to all these rheumatologists and all these places and everything, but it didn't happen. She wasn't sick. She didn't have freaking lupus. Go look at J for Justice's. J is for Justice did a really good thing about the lupus. Plus, the lupus wasn't found in her medical history. She couldn't have afforded to have lupus based on this, based on the shenanigans here. I am really, really surprised to see this, to see the numbers on paper. Are you guys too? Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I am glad that I found this document because to me, I really have explained that I took too many things for granted because they were said from what I thought was a credible source. And now that I know that that source was not credible, I have to go back and look at everything I've heard and make sure that going forward, I have found everything that I speak to myself, because it is becoming very clear that, again, there are creators that just babble, and they are contributing to the misinformation. And I would hope that people don't continue to support channels that are contributing to the problem, where we are trying to work together and work forward to find answers, so that the next situation where there's a family that looks picture perfect, we can see the warning signs, and we can look into the eyes of the little boys and girls and say, I see you. I see that this doesn't make sense, and I can't stop what's going on myself, but I can call the authorities. I can be an advocate. You see something, you say something. We all agree that CPS needs to do more. I mean, CPS is broken. CPS needs to, I say CPS because that's what it's called my area. I think it's called, is it called DHS somewhere? I say CPS meaning Child Protective Services. They are not doing their job. And the fact that the police will bow down to what CPS says or does is problematic at times, because when you're witnessing the abuse firsthand and you're trying to get Child Protective Services to act and they won't, and you witness repeated abuse, and the police say, well, we're waiting for CPS to do this, and if CPS hasn't acted, then I guess that they've decided that, the situation that you're saying doesn't exist. It is time for CPS to be audited. It is not appropriate for these tragedy pimps to go and rain terror on neighborhoods that have nothing to do with the actions of one of their neighbors. People need to protest the government office that is slated to protect the children and force them to become transparent. How many calls do they get? How many caseworkers do they need? If they need more caseworkers, and the taxes in that area across the board need to be increased so that they can do their jobs and children's lives will be saved, then they need to speak up. Like I say, it's not the right answer to go and protest in neighborhoods. These neighbors have nothing to do with whatever their weirdo neighbor is doing. Protest CPS. It is not acceptable to not be putting accountability where accountability and responsibility belongs. And the Watts case is the biggest steaming pile of it, because in the beginning, the narrative was so strong against Christopher. There was nobody that could say anything, question anything. Some people who saw things on some videos spoke up, and it was, oh, you can't say that because there's two videos. What if your whole life and your whole parenting was judged on those two videos? Well, now there's hundreds of videos, and there's a wealth of information out there that shows beyond a reasonable or beyond a reasonable doubt that there was so much pressure and stress and lies and in that home that something was bound to happen. Just the biggest contributor to divorce is having financial problems. Look at this mess that they were in with their finances. That is stress 24/7. You can't afford food. You can't afford to go out. You can't do anything. And then that person in the back is raising their hand. Well, that's why they had people living with them to save, to share the costs. Well, maybe, but that pantry was still frickin' empty. And those kids were hungry. They had no variety to eat. I know that the narrative is, oh, she was a wonderful cook. And really? She looked so awkward holding basic kitchen utensils and bowls like she'd never touched them before. She wasn't just whipping up things and being a little Betty Crocker. It didn't happen. Should have been happening because she would have had to have been quite the pioneer woman making ends meet, because she should have taken responsibility for the debt that she kept getting themselves in. Like I say, Christopher, he'd have been happy in a little home that was very much within his means. And then later on, as they became more successful or whatnot, and were done having babies and the kids were a little older, they could look at their situation and see if they grew into a bigger home. But to buy a great big ginormous home that you can't afford in the first place, Shanann was working entry-level jobs. A receptionist for a children's hospital, a night shift operator where she was working remotely from home. That's entry-level. We don't know how many hours she was working. But it was never going to work, and that was just constant. That would be constant stress having that amount out. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why was it important for her to have this big, huge house with no children in it? Remember, she told Christopher that she couldn't have kids. And there is so much packed in that statement. She couldn't have kids. Which means they built that house without the intention of having children because she couldn't have kids. These debts were incurred mostly before they had kids. How was it ever going to work? With her working the night shift, overnights, on a call center, while staying home raising the kids, while Christopher's out of the house. Because if they got rid of her income, it made things very, very tight. But if you have people staying with you, you'd think they were sharing the cost, but I don't think that they were. It doesn't make any sense. And maybe that's how the house payment was being paid in the beginning. Maybe whoever stayed paid $1,000 towards the bills or whatever. Isn't it interesting that that's not stated in the bankruptcy? That they were that much in debt with other people supposedly contributing because they were staying there. Always, always, always on Watts Island saying, what's the fuck? What the fuck? What's the fuck? Right? Always, when I look at this case, there's more questions than answers. But thank you for going through this document with me so we have some solid talking points to really see where those numbers were. And I'll make some more numbers out of this. I'm going to chop this up 5 ways from sideways. You know that I am, to really look at this a little bit more. But I didn't want to do it without you guys. And like I say, thank you so much for staying with me through all of this and not, unsubbing and forgetting about me. I'm still here, and I adore all of you, and thank you so much for all the nice things you say to me. I always hope that I'm worth your time. I'm sorry that I'm not as peppy as usual. Like I say, this is day 1 where I can actually sit up and not be in a I would like to say coma. It's kind of like a coma when you sleep that much, I'm having really vivid dreams and all that good stuff. So if I don't talk to you guys before Thanksgiving, but I kind of think I am because I've got some ideas for some content, please have an amazing Thanksgiving. Eat so much. Eat for me, because I can't really eat. My favorite is the green bean casserole. Let me know what your favorites are too. And also, are you guys doing turkey or ham? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a poll and see who's doing a turkey and a ham, turkey or ham. Because I don't know. It's just you make the turkey, but it's not really like anybody really eats turkey. It's like I don't know. And it's so hard to season because the outside of it can get the seasoning and you can get this great smell in the home, all the things you can do with it and everything, but it just really, there's so much of it that just doesn't have any flavor on it. So I just kind of got over it. So what we do is we get a spiral ham from Honey Baked Hams. So we cheat with that, and then Hubbers makes the side dishes, and he handles the holiday meals. He does really good. We usually do a prime rib for Christmas. So, well, like I say, thank you all for listening, and happy Thanksgiving. And with that, I'm over and out. Bye-bye.